right, I am happy to be joined with Jack Yu, who joins us. He's the managing director of Mernova, which is owned by Creso Pharma. It is a Canadian subsidiary of Creso. How are you, sir? And staying warm, I hope, in these days. A lot of snow this week in Canada.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Staying warm, Chad.
Yeah. So let's get into your story. We've been following Creso for the last 6-7 weeks, and interesting one. Bruce Linton obviously involved with this company as well. Let's talk about the narrative. I want to obviously educate my viewers more and more about what the company is, where they're going, and most importantly, what you focus on being with Mernova, based out in Nova Scotia.
We're all about quality. That's our main focus and our main priority. And investors should recognize that the market is shifting towards a more of a craft, artisanal type of model. The customers have spoken, and they don't like the factory weed. They want the good stuff, basically. As we, as Mernova grows, we hope to grow our reputation for quality cannabis, and obviously also grow our capacity as well, either through expansion, acquisitions, or partnerships.
Right. You at one time were with Canopy, and now obviously you're with the role with Mernova. You just touched on quality versus size and scale. What do you think we've learned the most in the Canadian landscape, and what's changed?
I think not really much has changed. People want good stuff. That hasn't changed. There was a short period where the large producers were in the driver's seat,
Yeah.
and they could dictate how everything worked. But the customers have spoken, and they kind of want something better, a higher quality product, and they're willing to pay for it if the quality is there.
So if you're, let's say, from an investment standpoint, looking to get involved again, where are we right now in the Canadian landscape? And you said that there's changes because the customers have spoken, but I guess I go back to that question. Are there changes that are actually happening?
Oh, there are a lot of changes happening. A lot of companies kind of invested in the wrong direction, and they're paying the price for that by either going out of business or being bought up by larger players.
Yeah.
There's a lot of turmoil in the industry right now, but at the end of the day, one person's disaster is another person's opportunity, and we're ready to capitalize on that right now.
Well, I look at Creso Pharma and record sales, very hot out of the gate here in 2021. This week, they announced that, the Canadian subsidiary, which you're part of, Mernova, has secured 4 purchase orders for your leading ritual product range, including 2 in Ontario, which marks you entry into Canada's largest recreational market. So tell me what that means for future growth for the overall company.
Actually, Chad, we received another PO just the other day, so things are really moving along well. Ontario, obviously being the largest legal market in the country, it's a huge milestone for us to finally be in it. And we expect that things to go very well for us there. And there's huge untapped potential there. I believe they're only at about 10 or 15% of what the number of stores that they actually require to service the population. So there's tremendous growth potential there.
So as you garner more attention from different, provinces across the US and pride yourself based on high quality product, what's some of the proof, I guess, that you can provide on feedback that you receive and why you're recognized as a leading quality cannabis grower within the Canadian market?
We only launched into retail sales not that long ago. But as we more customers try our product and more people within the industry try it, they're starting to recognize that our quality is right up there with the black market, and in certain cases exceeds a lot of the quality coming from the black market, which in the legal industry is quite a new thing. There are very few companies within it that can match the quality of the black market, which we believe we have.
Marijuana stocks right now, Jack, are burning up, which is understandable considering the growing number of countries, provinces, states that have legalized pot in some form. That said, there's still a lot of things that, would-be investors don't know about the industry. So what industry challenges do you still think are looming out there to overlook before an investor comes diving into the industry?
I think the main thing that investors need to be aware of is, as I said earlier, it's a quick changing environment. If a company is not adapting to the current situation, and they're going to be in a bad spot very soon. As the beer market has gone from a handful of large producers towards a craft market, we anticipate the cannabis market to do the same. And it's actively happening right now, those changes. And the provinces are actively trying to shift the market towards that as well.
Can you maybe be specific on some of the lessons that we've learned from in the early days of the black market into cannabis 1.0? And now as we are not entering into, we've been into cannabis 2.0. And what are, I guess, the most important lessons that we take out of this? And where do we go from here?
I think one lesson that the industry has learned from the black market is black market growers tend to know how to grow, whereas a lot of the people that they tend to hire don't know how to grow. The lesson the industry learned as well from the early days is that the customers have a voice now, and you can't just force terrible product on them anymore. And they're paying the price for that. They're learning that the hard way, as many of the provinces are actively trying to delist the products that still don't sell well, that customers don't want. So if you are not geared towards producing a top quality product, you're going to be in for a bad ride soon.
Yeah, do you see a big difference between here and, let's say, the American landscape and what's unfolding over there? Because it seems to be a hot topic, knowing where that industry is headed in 2021.
Yeah, I do see some differences. Each market has like their little idiosyncrasies. And so, it's like, for example, in Colorado, they tend to be a lot more like many more LPs, but on a much smaller scale. Whereas Canada started out with very large LPs,
right.
Not that many of them to start. But now you're starting to see a lot more of the smaller operators come online, producing more of a craft product. And then also the micro grow licenses, those are starting to come online as well. And some people believe that that's where the market is headed, more towards the quality market and less towards the large scale.
Where is the biggest market potential as far as product is concerned in the Canadian landscape, and where do you fit into that narrative?
I think the large potential is obviously Ontario being the largest. And as I believe I mentioned earlier, they still require they basically have about 15% of the number of stores they require to service the population. So there's tremendous growth potential there, and we hope to be part of that.
Last thing I want to leave you with, and I know this is outside of Canada, I found some fascinating news from Creso related to Australia. A few weeks ago, over-the-counter sales of CBD compound have been permitted in the country, with pharmacists now able to basically sell low-dose cannabinoid products to customers now without prescription. So what does this mean for investors, I guess, when it comes to Creso? Because on paper, this looks to be a big opportunity for them as far as capitalizing revenue-wise within the country of Australia.
Well, it's great now that the regulatory environment is friendlier to CBD products. Obviously, this will greatly increase the availability of the product to customers. And hopefully Creso can really benefit from this and ride that wave and really establish the brand and cannabis products in general around in Australia and around the world.
Good stuff. Obviously a great start for the company out of 2021, securing lots of purchase orders. Quality seems to be the king over everything, and developing obviously in Canada, Australia, and overseas in Europe as well. Jack, appreciate your time. Let's keep in touch.
Thanks, Jeff.
All right. Thanks, Jack.